Okay, for 96, they want us to solve and then state whether they're rational or irrational, right? So let's do A, right? So we have x times 3x minus 4 equals 5. Okay, now there is no 5 product property. I can't say either x equals 5 or 3x. That only works if you have 0. So we're kind of forced to put this together, get the 5 to the other side, and then try to deconstruct it. So let's distribute, right? So we have 3x squared minus 4x equals 5. Now I'll bring the 5 over. 3x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0, right? Subtract 5 from both sides. So I could see if I could factor this, right? So I could have 3x squared and negative 5 and see if I could get the negative 4 in the middle term. I'm going to quickly realize that this cannot be factored, right? If you use decomposition, you get 15x squared, and you're looking for a negative 4 in the middle. It doesn't work. So let's use quadratic formula, right? So I have a equals 3, b equals negative 4, c equals negative 5. So x equals negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Whoops, that's not over here, right? Okay. And I get x equals negative 4 plus or minus negative 4 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 5 all over 2 times 3. Okay, now I'm going to come up here, right? Okay, so I get x equals negative 4. That's 4 plus or minus, right? Negative 4 squared is 16 plus, right, because I have negative times negative, 2060, right, all over 6. So that gives me x equals 4 plus or minus root 76 all over 6. So there's my solutions. And then clearly there's a non-perfect square radical, right? So this is irrational. These are irrational answers, right? Okay, let's do B. Clear that. B, we have 3x minus 2 squared equals 1/4. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Let's take the square root of both sides, right? So that'll give me 3x minus 2 equals plus or minus. The square root of 1/4 is 1/2, right? So plus or minus 1/2. Let's add 2 to both sides. So we have 3x equals 2 plus or minus 1/2. And then we're going to divide by 3, right? So we get x equals 2 plus or minus 1/2 over 3. So 2 is 4 halves, right? So I get x equals 4 halves plus or minus 1/2 all over 3. So the first solution is x equals 4 halves plus 1/2 over 3. And the second one is x equals 4 halves minus 1/2 over 3. So this one is 4 halves plus 1/2. That's 5 halves divided by 3 is 5/6. And the next one is 4 halves minus 1/2 is 3 halves divided by 3. Right? 3 halves divided by 3, that's 3 halves times 1/3, that's 1/2, right? So our two solutions are 1/2 and 5/6. Both of those are represented as a fraction, so they are rational solutions.